My wife cheated with her client but forgot I had cameras, ended up with her only choice. Hello everyone, this is my first time posting to Reddit, and it is a long post. I genuinely need additional help/support and words of wisdom. My wife and I have been together since we were 17, we are 33 and 32 now, so almost 14 years married and 16 of us are together as a couple. We are blessed to have 3 kids, a house, and a dog. I work in a government-run psychiatric hospital, having worked there for 11 years. My work is great and it has provided a decent life for us. I was in a couple of severe motor vehicle accidents. The first was in 2015. I was rear-ended while at a stop. A 16-year-old girl slammed into my Camry going 45 miles per hour, and she was in an 8-passenger van. My airbag never deployed. She hit me so hard that I hit the car in front of me, jumped the curb, and went another 14 feet before hitting a tree and stopping. My head went into the steering wheel, my airbags never deployed, and I passed out. When I woke up, firemen were cutting me out of my car, my knees got buried in the dash. This was my first traumatic brain injury. Fast forward, I had 3 surgeries from that accident and recovered. 1.5 years later, I was with my former best friend. He lost control of his truck, and we were going 80 miles per hour. We flipped 3 times and landed with my side of the truck suspended in the air. That accident really should have passed away. It is a miracle I am still here. I crushed 4 vertebrae in my spine, fractured my sternum, crushed my right shoulder, deflated 1 lung, and had a really bad brain bleed. The second accident really messed up my brain. I was diagnosed with a grade 3 TBI. I had to learn how to speak properly again. I was in immense pain, and as a result of using pills from the multiple surgeries, I became massively obsessed to them. I ate them like candy to destroy the pain. It took a toll on my marriage and my relationship with my kids. I became a monster. I pushed my wife to a place where she said it is either your pain meds or your family. I chose my family, and I have been clean off of pills for 4 years, 5 months and 7 days. The opiate misuse really hurt my wife. While I was recovering from the surgery, she created a separate IG account for self-portraits. She is a photographer and a model, and began receiving a ton of attention on IG from different men. My wife is absolutely stunning and always has received attention since she was a teenager. Mind you, we have been married for almost 14 years now. I struggle with insecurity because I feel so stupid. I was in collegiate honors scholar studying medicine. Now I cannot remember the plans each day. I repeat myself in some conversations because I can't remember who I have spoken to about what. I used to be 6 foot tall, and I lost 2 inches in height from crushing my spine, but the worst thing I experienced was the brain injury. It really took my self-confidence completely away. So we hit a rough patch in life, and in these past 5 years, my wife is on a journey finding herself outside of being a mother and a wife. I didn't like it at first because of the whole IG thing, but I know now I need to encourage her to be her own person, have her own identity. I learned through therapy that I need to work on that too. I can't only be a husband and father, there is more to me than that. We have had a rough year in 2020, all 3 kids at home because COVID. I was telecommuting some because of it too, and we were all around each other too much. My wife made some decisions that really hurt me and completely destroyed my trust in her. This past summer she had a day off just by herself. She headed over to her ex-brother-in-law's house to watch a movie by herself, and did not tell me. She was there from about 8 p.m. to 2:30 a.m., and did not get home till 3 a.m. I confronted her about it the next day, and she said literally nothing happened. They just watched a couple of movies and caught up on life and were talking. Fast forward to this year, like I said, we have had some gnarly fights, and she asked me for a separation and move out temporarily because my anger is scaring the kids and her. We went to my psychiatrist and talked with her about everything. She stated separating right now may do you both good for just a month. Doc said we need to make the best decisions with the least impact on the kids. So I moved in with my boss. He is a psychiatrist and has a mansion house. During our separation, my wife went out to the Cheesecake Factory by herself for alone time again, except she was not alone. A guy from the church that we grew up with met her there, paid for both of their dinners and hung out there for a couple hours. I personally see this as a date. She does not. She sees it as catching up with an old friend, he flirted with her, and she flirted back. A couple weeks later, she made plans to go over to see her girlfriends to watch a movie. I was very upset because she left our kids home alone at 9:30 p.m. My daughter has a lot to handle and has some emotional instability, so I don't like leaving her alone, especially at night. I tried calling and texting my wife and there was no response. I checked our security cameras and I caught her trying to leave. She had disarmed the cameras thinking I would not know. Something in my gut told me she was not going to see her girlfriend, she was going over to a man's house. I called over and over with no answer until she responded with a text of "I don't want to talk." I was pissed and texted, "Where are you going and leaving our kids home alone on a school night at 9:30 p.m.? Kids are 13, 10 and 6, if you were wanting to go out please tell me so I can come watch them." I asked again and again if you were really going over to your friend's house and not a guy's house. She said yes, I was going to see my girlfriend. I knew the truth in my heart. She got pissed off at me because I said I was uncomfortable leaving the kids, so she turned around and went back home. I checked the cameras live until I saw the truck park in my driveway. I downloaded the footage to my phone of her leaving and coming back. I asked her many times if she was really going to see her girlfriend or if it was some guy's house that I don't know about. She denied anything like that and was upset with me accusing her of doing something like that. The next day I said we needed to talk. I left work early and met her at a park to confront her again. There was a lot of fighting and finally I told her, "Do not make me a fool. I don't want to be an idiot and find out in a counseling session that you were really going to see some man or you are already with someone else." She finally admitted yes, she was going over to one of her guy friends' house to watch a movie at 9:30 p.m. at ducking night. It was the same guy she went to the Cheesecake Factory with. I lost it, completely lost it. I have never cried or screamed so hard in my life. I was ready to blow my brains out just to not feel the pain. I have several tools and the only thing I could think to do was put a 5.56 in my AR and blow my basal ganglia right out of my skull. She claimed again that nothing happened, she never even made it to his house. I said I am done, I want to sell the house, and I am going to kick rocks. You figure out where you are going with the kids, and I will pay you child support before the divorce even begins. She apologized profusely, stating she never meant to hurt me. She just wanted to see a friend to hang out, and that our whole marriage she has only ever been faithful to me and never has had sex with anyone else. I am hurt because she admitted to her date with him at the Cheesecake Factory that he flirted with her, and she flirted back. She said it was harmless, he said. "Why, you are so beautiful," she responded. "Oh yeah. I know I am." She would do the same thing on IG to guys messaging her about how they want to marry her, give her gifts, be her sugar daddy, etc. The guy that said he wanted to marry her responded, "I can't marry someone that doesn't even know my middle name." She admitted to all of this, and I said, "If you really want me to stay, either I move back in today or I am done." So I moved back in. We are trying to make it work, but I am honestly struggling with my confidence and self-esteem. All of these thoughts in my head, I can't make them go away as hard as I try to focus on something else that is plaguing me. Please, can anyone give me advice on how to move forward? I desire to only be with her, but the way she has been acting and living a single life is destroying me. Our therapist and psychiatrist wants us to stop talking about the past. I feel that it is not fair that I am not allowed to ask any more questions on this. Every time I bring this topic up, her story has not changed. If she did cheat on me, I don't think she will tell me. She said at the park how afraid she is of me hurting/destroying myself or hurting her, even the kids. She said she kept this stuff hidden from me because she was afraid of my reaction. I never did hurt myself that day, nor did I hurt anyone else. I have so much hatred in my heart towards that guy. She texted him stating it was inappropriate of her going over to see him at night because she is trying to work things out with her husband. He said, "I did not realize you were working things out. I was confused because you said you were done, and he moved out. I would have preferred you kept my name out of this, but it's too late for that." My wife claims she never told him she was done with me, and that she really was only going to watch a movie with him. It makes me so upset because this guy was a client of hers. She took photos of him with his boys. Turns out the dude is divorced, and I am positive he was looking to sleep with her when she was going over that night. I know what his intentions were, but again, my wife argues it was just catching up with a friend. It is taking everything inside me to not talk to him directly. I am struggling with my mental health. I already struggle with depression from chronic severe pain, but this has really increased my depressive symptoms. I have such bad anxiety and stress that I am having tons of nightmares. I wake up every few hours completely drenched in sweat. My psychiatrist tells me my blood pressure is through the ducking roof, even though I am laying down trying to sleep. The stress is hardcore. I got to keep it together so I don't mess up at work. Aside from work and playing my guitar to keep me occupied, I find myself on this reading of other people's stories. I have thought about deleting my social media to keep this out of sight, out of mind, but I don't trust her enough to do that either. Please anyone impart some wisdom on me, thank you. Cheating wife cried an apology after I found out she was sleeping with another guy and confronted her with proofs. My wife had an emotional crush on a guy in college 18 years ago. But the guy did not accept her proposal at the time. But they have been in contact on and off all these years through social media. My wife told me everything about him, and up until recently they were just friends. I found out yesterday that they have gotten quite intimate on social media for a year. I saw all her texts, and the guy had been regularly asking for her pics in revealing clothes. My wife had sent cleavage-bearing photos to him, if not anything more. My wife's into spirituality, and the guy has been portraying himself as spiritual, and that's where I think my wife is emotionally connected to him. At one point in the conversation, she told him, "I am in tune with you. We are married mentally. Love you lots." Lately they may have moved to Telegram, which is much more secure, so I don't know how far they may have gone. I was seething with rage, but I calmed myself down and approached this rationally. I have 2 kids and they must not be harmed in any way due to this. I admit that I have been so engrossed in work since I am upskilling myself and transitioning to a better position. I also have a night shift at work and 2 kids. This led to me sleeping late at night in another bedroom alone for almost 2 years. She sleeps with the kids early. Naturally non-existent sex life. While she has great respect and care for me and is always there when I need her, I believe she drifted away because of perceived lack of emotional support and no sex life. Today I tried to get naughty with her and asked her for sex, and she was ready in an instant. We had a good time, and she was totally into it. I totally want to save the marriage despite the heartbreak. That's why I haven't confronted her yet. Should I now? Or should I just reignite the sex life and further the emotional connection and hope remorse moves her away from him? I have to deal with this very pragmatically because both of our families also go along very well. Thank you for reading. Update: I confronted her without showing the evidence first, and she said they do chat on and off, but it's nothing more than that. I then slowly revealed the chats, and she looked all hopeless and said that she tried to stop him from crossing limits while chatting and not to chat in a specific way. I put my foot down and told her that she cheated nevertheless, and that she can either leave or go and see with that guy. In the above description, I paraphrased what I thought I read, but the actual conversation was, "I am in tune with you. We don't necessarily have to chat like this. We are married." She said she meant we both are married and not that we are mentally married, and that she could never say such a thing. She said she knew the whole thing was going wayward and had finally put an end to it, restricting conversations to casual friendly talk, and showed me parts of a newer conversation where she appreciated me and how happy she is with me. She then lamented that karma hit her nevertheless, and I saw older chats. She said she had met him just once when she went to her native town, along with other friends, and had let me know about the meeting. She did let me know. She said she has not met him in private ever. She was at home all the time at her mother's place as she was pregnant with our number 2. I asked her about the pictures and she said she had sent him normal pictures and showed me parts in the conversation where he was coaxing her to send revealing ones. She said she was stupid and delirious dead in the night to have sent him 3 revealing pictures. She said she realized it was a mistake and tried to steer away the conversation with him to mundane topics. She said she tried to reconnect with her old friends after we moved to a new city, and was hoping for some meaningful connections with people she knew for old time's sake. She said she had good memories of his college friends, but now realizes that people change over the years, and that the guy has turned into a creepy predator seeking cheap thrills. We both have the same passcode on our phones. So I scanned her phone and found no new conversations. I asked her to send the guy one last message not to contact again, and that I know everything. She did what I said and also agreed that the guy's wife deserves to know everything. Just before bedtime, she broke down and apologized and said she didn't want to hurt me, and that she wants me and loves me over anyone else. She said I am justified in seeking separation, but that she wants to save the marriage. I said I honestly can't think straight, and that I am heartbroken, and that what she did was not right. She cried herself to sleep. Today morning she apologized again, and said she was being stupid and realized during the convos that the guy wasn't the same college friend she knew, and that he has changed and should have ended conversations earlier on. I said I want to trust her, but right now I can't. I need some time.